Day 221 of the Daily Stoic. Start with where the world is. Quote, "Do now what nature demands of you. Get right to it if that's in your power. Don't look around to see if people will know about it. Don't wait the perfection of Plato's Republic, but be satisfied with even the smallest step forward and regard the outcome as a small thing." Marcus Aurelius, Meditations 9.29.4. Have you ever heard the expression, quote, "Don't let perfect be the enemy of good enough"? The idea is not to settle or compromise your standards, but rather not to become trapped by idealism. The community organizer, Saul Alinsky, opens his book Rules for Radicals with a pragmatic but inspiring articulation of this idea. Quote, "As an organizer, I start from where the world is, as it is, not as I would like it to be. That we accept the world as it is does not in any sense weaken our desire to change it into what we believe it should be. It is necessary to begin where the world is if we are going to change it to what we think it should be." There's plenty you could do right now, today, that would make your world a better place. There are plenty of small steps that, were you to take them, would help move things forward. Don't excuse yourself from doing them because the conditions aren't right or because a better opportunity might come along. Do what you can now. And when you've done it, keep it in perspective. Don't overblow the results. Shun both ego and excuse, before and after. I'll tell you where my heart's moving towards as I'm read this. My heart moves towards the activists, because what is this talking about? What did he talk about? He talked about Saul Alinsky, Rules for Radicals. He was a organizer. He was a activist. And my mind moves to activism because that is a central part of the world narrative and the world stage today. Activism at its highest peak. I actually believe we are at the highest peak of activism that the world has ever seen. Everybody is yelling about how unjust and unfair their group is being treated. Isn't that what's happening in the world? Don't we live today in the oppression Olympics, the victim Olympics? Don't we live in a world where every group in the world, however you want to slice up the groups, everyone's yelling that they need representation, they need help, they need support. And here's the sad truth. The only people that actually make all the money from doing activism are the organizers. Everybody else is just giving of their time. So it's a scam, actually, activism in most cases. It's a scam. Actually, I'd say it's a scam 100% of the time. And so what's the pertinence to you? Well, it's very simple. Stop complaining about the way the world is. Start with how the world is now, right? As an organizer, I start from where the world is, as it is, not as I would like it to be. I think most people in the activism world, in the organizing world, are constantly complaining about the way the world wants to be, and them shouting, frankly, is the worst thing for them to be doing, because nobody cares. You know what would be better is if they actually became the change they want to see, and then show us the results. Wouldn't that be far better? It's kind of like in management, right? Like, managers don't care that you're 50% done the project. You know what they really care about? That you just finish the project and show us the results. So same with activism. Stop shouting and telling us about the progress being made. Why don't you just be the progress, make the progress, and tell us when something's improved?